Set along the shoreline of Hervey Bay here is a heritage pier. A heritage listed structure that reflects a part of Hervey Bay's important past. Over there in the distance is Hervey Bay's pier that was once about 1.1 kilometres long. I'm going to walk up that in a minute. Extending into the sheltered waters of the bay here, the pier was designed as a deep water facility to support maritime trade at a time when inland access to ports was becoming increasingly difficult, limited by the larger vessels. What I noticed along the edge of the river here in Hervey Bay is that there is now a seawall, which in a minute I'll get to, but it explains here what the seawall is and why they're doing it. So apparently construction of this pier, it started at 1.1 metres long and at the time was the largest pier in Australia. It was complete in about 1917. There are a couple of little rocky, I don't think you'd call them piers, but there's little rocky formations on the way over to Hervey Bay's 1.1 metre long pier, which is now 868 metres long. The purpose of the structure was to enable ships to dock in deeper water, bypassing the limitations of the nearby Mary River and allowing goods from the inland regions to be transported more efficiently to overseas markets. And there are plenty of rest places and seats to admire the view along this walkway. Okay, so I can't resist a little play on these. Let's do a shoulder stretch. A key feature of the pier was its operation and integration with the local rail network. A railway line from the pier behind me connected to Pielba, allowing goods such as sugar, cargo and timber to be transported directly from the pier behind me to inland areas. And remember that sign I saw just back up the walkway? These are the walls it's referring to. So it says here, the direct rail to ship transfer system played a significant role in the regional economy during the mid-1900s. The facility was sometimes referred to as the Port of Maryborough, reflecting the role it served in the wider districts. But of course the name did cause a bit of confusion in some postal and shipping records because they referred to this as the Maryborough port, and it's not Maryborough, it's in Hervey Bay. Over time, the decline of coal exports and the development of alternative ports around the area, including facilities at Bundaberg, this led to a reduction in trade through Urangan. By 1960, the pier's role had shifted to that of an oil terminal, with pipelines installed to handle fuel exports. There are no major oil fields in Hervey Bay itself, of course, The pier became an oil terminal because it was a convenient deep water loading and unloading point for fuel arriving by ship. In 1929, Urangan became the busiest coal port on the eastern seaboard, shipping more than 100,000 tonne of coal in a year. This was largely due to coal field strikes in New South Wales, giving a boost to Burgalwin and Howard collieries. So in 1961, Caltex built an oil terminal near the end of the pier here, which brought oil tankers to Urangan. Fuel from the berth tankers along the length of the pier was piped to road tankers and distributed throughout the wide bay. So once the fuel reached the shores here, it would have been stored in tanks along the shoreline there. It's quite windy today, and I don't want to lose this, so it's going to come off. Operations ceased at the pier here in about 1985, after which the structure faced demolition due to its deteriorating condition. Strong local opposition, though, meant they reconsidered that and decided to keep the pier structure as a heritage listed structure. They did shorten the pier, though, from the 1.1 metres long that it was to about 865 metres. No, 868, 886. Restoration work was completed during the late 1990s and was open to the public in, 1999. Whoops, I better watch I'm walking. Whoa, is that a fish?
The last one on sale.
Holy! Today it's a pedestrian walkway and a fishing location. It's quite cool, really, because the pier also serves as a reminder to Queensland's transport and maritime history. Something else Hervey Bay is also known for is its migration of the humpback whale, particularly during July and October, where the whales use the sheltered waters here as a breeding area. It's not cold, but geez, can you just imagine the wind and the strength on an actual stormy day or a stormy night? Far out. And also, it's interesting to remember that the pier would have gone another 200 metres beyond that point. We are here, and I'm now going to walk around the marina to have a look at the boats. The Urangan boat harbour began developing in 1963 with the construction of a public jetty alongside the old Urangan Pier that we just walked along. Originally a small boating harbour with basic boating facilities, it gradually expanded as Hervey Bay's fishing and tourism industries grew. Over the following decades, breakwaters, marinas, boat ramps and dredged channels transformed the harbour into one of Queensland's major recreational boating centres. And this hat's coming off again. Today the marina here is the main departure point for whale watching tours, fishing charters and ferries to Gympie or Fraser Island, marking the area's shift from an industrial hub to a tourist hub. Opposite the boats here are these man-made marina basins and dredge ponds. They were created during the harbour's expansion to support boating access in what is naturally a very shallow coastal area. Memory of fishermen who perished at sea. This guy behind me, St. Peter, is the patron saint of fishing, the patron saint of fishermen. The statue was placed here as a tribute to local fishermen and others who have lost their lives at sea. Jeez, the wind. It's not cold though. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.